and welcome to Code a Song. I'm your host, Cadence Patrick, live from the Black Girls Code headquarters. Today, we're going to add structure to our songs using the Python programming language, pretty much adding the good stuff on top of your beats. Later, we're going to chat with EarSketch's very own contest winner, Ariane Panier. I'm stoked for this conversation. Trust me, you will be too. This is the fourth video in our Code a Song series. In our third video, we looped our beats using code. Today, we're going to work with larger sections of our songs and add some new elements to get us closer to a song. If you're a music lover like me, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The intro, verse, and chorus. Are you ready to add some pizzazz to those loops? I'm actually pretty excited about this part. Many popular songs follow a pattern where there's an introduction to the song, the intro, then the artist sings or raps a verse, then a chorus, then another verse or two. A verse is the part of the song that tells most of the story. Then, later the chorus comes in with catchy music, kind of like this. Who run the world, girls? Who run the world, girls? Just think about your favorite song. I bet it has all of these elements. Let's really break it down even more. A verse-chorus song structure is also called ABA or ABAB because you alternate the verse and the chorus. First, you play part A, then part B, then parts A and B again. That's ABAB. I know it might be a little hard to say at first. It's a tongue twister. Practice with me. ABAB, ABAB, ABAB. Got it? Let's turn these letters into functions. One way to code this in EarSketch is to just write a long list of fit media statements like this. Here's section A, it covers measures 1 to 3. It has 3 sound clips. Here's the next section, section B. Then here's section A again, covering measures 5 to 7. So this code works. Happy dance! But what if you want to change something in section A? You'd have to change it in 2 places, and you might make an error, and we don't want that. What if you wanted to change the number of measures for a section? You'd have to change a lot of numbers. That's just way too much work for nothing. Well, there's a better way to structure our songs, like a shortcut. Instead of changing all of those numbers, we can use custom functions. Wait, before we dig into this lesson, let's learn a little bit more about functions. A function is a block of code that has a name, and you can use and reuse functions over and over again. Custom functions are functions we write ourselves. The opposite of custom functions are built-in functions that come with EarSketch, like fit media, make beat, and set tempo. First, we define the custom function, then we can use it. Okay, let's define our first function. A custom function can take arguments or have no arguments. Pause. Need a small tutorial on arguments before we start? We talk a lot more about arguments in the second video of our Code a Song series. Okay, let's get back into the lesson. Let's say a function has no arguments. It just prints out a few things. Code this function with me.
To define a function with no arguments, you type def space, the name of our function, say hello, open parenthesis, close parenthesis, and a colon. Press enter to go to the next line, and EarSketch automatically indents for you. Just like in our previous for loops, you need to indent everything inside the function definition. So then we have our indented print statements. Feel free to come up with your own way of saying hello. Now that we've defined the function, we can call it by typing say hello, open parenthesis, close parenthesis, and clicking run.
There we go. Now, let's add an argument that puts a person's name in the output. That's def, say name, open parenthesis, name, close parenthesis, colon. Don't forget that colon. Then the print statements. The first print statement uses the argument. I think this is so cool. You can literally create whatever phase you like here. By the way, when you define a function, the argument is called a parameter. Then, when you use it, it's called an argument. This function has one parameter called name. Let's see this function at work. I'll call it a couple of times with 3 different arguments. You can see how the 3 different arguments created 3 different outputs. Functions like this are used in computer science all the time. In fact, I just wrote some for my computer science class. Okay, let's define a function called section A that plays 2 sound clips. I want to give it the starting measure and the ending measure, and it should play the clips there. So that's def, section A, open parenthesis, start, comma, end, close parenthesis, colon. Then the 2 fit media calls on tracks 1 and 2. And we use the 2 new parameters, start and end. I'm going to call this function starting at measure 2 just to see it work. So anywhere in the code where it says start, the computer replaces it with a 2, just like a variable. You can see in the DAW, the clips start at measure 2 and stop at 5. Success! Now why don't you try to write a section A function? We can use this function along with the section B function to create a little ABAB song. Your Section B function looks similar to Section A, but has some different sound clips and plays on the next measures. You might keep the same drum beat throughout the song. Once you have two functions, you can call Section A, then Section B, then Section A and B again, like this. Here's a function for Section A and a function for Section B, and now you can call these functions anytime you want for any measures you want. We're close to actually hearing something here. This song has the ABAB pattern, so the code calls functions 4 times. Section A for the first 2 measures, Section B for the next 2 measures, then Section A again, and Section B. Let's listen. Can you hear the repeating sections? What do you think about that? We still have a few more elements to add. I have each section playing for 2 measures, but oftentimes popular music uses 4 measures. I'd like to add Sierra's vocals, but that takes 4 measures per section. I need to update my code.
I added the vocals track to the function definitions here and here. Now, I need to update the function calls to make each section 4 measures. 1 plus 4 measures equals 5. 5 plus 4 measures equals 9. 9 plus 4 measures is 13, and 13 plus 4 measures is 17. Because I'm using functions, I only have to change 7 numbers. See how simple that was? But if I'd done it the old way, using only fit media calls, I would have had to change over 20 numbers. It would be so tedious and I could make a mistake. That's the power of functions. I'm so excited to hear the updated song. Let's listen.
All my songs come with melanin. Got the heart, got the soul like Harriet. A queen since she born, that was evident. That's evidence of black excellence. I don't plant my seeds, I'm rooted. Brown skin popping, I'm rooted. ATL bread, I'm rooted. Rooted, nappy head rooted. All my songs come with melanin. Got the heart, got the soul like Harriet. A queen since she born, that was evident. That's evidence of black excellence. I don't plant my seeds, I'm rooted. Brown skin popping, I'm rooted. ATL bread, I'm rooted. Rooted, nappy head rooted.
Section A of this song is like a verse, and Section B is the chorus. Let's rename the functions like that. Okay, now I have some ideas to make this even better.
But first, let me show you something that will help you really create a masterpiece. Let me show you a more advanced function. I want to use more of the vocals in the sound library. It would be cool to play 2 verses with different lyrics, to add some diversity. Each verse has the same beat and background vocals. The only difference should be the lead vocals. So we're going to update our function so that we pass in the lead vocals we want and the rest stays the same. Step 1 is to add a parameter to our function definition line called clip for the sound clip we want to use in the verse. Step 2 is to change the lead vocals argument in fit media to use this new parameter. Step 3 is to pass the specific sound clip as an argument in the verse function calls. For the first verse, I want Sierra rooted Blox verse 1, and for the second, I want verse 2. There. I'm going to play the new song. Look out for the 2 different verses.
All my songs come with melanin. Got the heart, got the soul like Harriet. A queen since she born, that was evident. That's evidence of black excellence. I don't plant my seeds, I'm rooted. Brown skin popping, I'm rooted. ATL bread, I'm rooted. Rooted, nappy head rooted. All my rules stay embedded in. Hard work, let them know ain't no trending it. Popping off on the charts, that's a better win. And popping off in the streets, ain't no checking it. I don't plant my seeds, I'm rooted. Brown skin popping, I'm rooted. ATL bread, I'm rooted. Rooted, nappy head rooted.
Let's celebrate. Before we get into the challenge, let's talk to a pro. Let's talk with Ariane, a high school student, about her song. Ariane was a winner of the 2021 Your Voice is Power competition. I'm so excited to chat with her because she did everything we've been learning and made a literal award-winning song. She has so much experience and she's only in high school. She's truly an inspiration. Listen to her innovative music for yourself.
I'm Black Ambition. always whispering. They keep telling me I will not, or my will won't listen. I'm black ambition. I'm always whispering. They keep telling me I will not, or my will won't listen.
See everything you place after black. It's too small a term to completely describe the act. Black nation, black builder, black entrepreneur. You in the presence, black excellence, and I'm on the board, Lord. See everything you place after black. It's too small a term to completely describe the act. Black nation, black builder, black entrepreneur. You in the presence, black excellence, and I'm on the board, Lord.
Even when the hard times come, I'll be standing in your love. Grateful, grateful for this life. You turned on the light.
The message of my song was to uplift and encourage Black people, especially young Black people and even people of color, because we experience so much and we go through so much in America. I wanted to have a song where we encourage them to go out there and create and promote entrepreneurship.
Let's get technical here, if that's okay, just a little bit. Was there anything that surprised you in the process of making the song?
Yes, one thing that I would say really surprised me was the amount of math that was included in coding and music, the progress, because you have to use adding and subtracting. It's not hard math, but it's just adding and subtracting. You have to use it to make sure that everything is aligned together and that the beats flow. Other than that, I don't think that there was a lot of surprises or any other difficulties. And I wouldn't say that that was something that discouraged me from doing the coding. It actually motivated me even more because it became fun after a while to do the subtraction and make sure that everything lined up the way that it was supposed to be.
That was a really great explanation. Thank you so much. I feel like I'm gaining so much knowledge about EarSketch. What kind of music do you see yourself making with EarSketch in the future? And do you think that this could be a future career for you?
I love to make hip hop beats and R&B beats, so I would think that those are the ones that I would mainly focus on. I also do like gospel, and I would like mix them up. I still like the feeling of like mixing up different genres together. The outcome that I made, it sounded good to me, so I like to continue to do that. Also, I do see this as like a side career, like something that I would do when I have time. So yeah, I would say like a hobby, but if it's something that I can turn from a hobby into a career, that would be very nice as well.
That is so awesome. Congratulations. Like that is so cool. Do you know what time it is? It's challenge time. I'm gonna ask you 3 questions. You can press pause during the countdown to give yourself a little time to think. Here we go with number 1. This function definition results in an error. Why? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up. The problem is that def is not supposed to be capitalized. That's easy enough to fix. And we're good to go. How about number 2? This code doesn't work as expected. Can you spot the problem? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and the answer is the parameter first name in the function definition line has a capital N, but the print statement does not. They need to match. That's it. Starting to get the hang of it? Okay, last one, number 3. This code doesn't create the verse I want. What's going on? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up! There's an issue with the function call. It has a capital V, but the function definition does not. Make them match up, and you're all set. See? That's nothing we can't fix. Just make sure you pay close attention to the little details. That's what coding and creating music is all about. That's all for working with functions. In the final video, we'll have fun with user input. That's when the user types stuff that your code reads. This is the last step that will really bring your song to life. I hope you had a great time learning how to define functions with me. Thanks for joining me for yet another Code a Song lesson.